So when we're thinking about our positionings with weightlifting, we want to go from powerful to stable. We also don't want to starfish, all right? There's no kind of engagement here. Go ahead and get wide. Try to squeeze your booty cheeks. Take a quarter, pretend like there's a quarter in between your booty cheeks and squeeze. Don't drop that change. Back in underneath us. Do the exact same thing. Now try to squeeze your booty cheeks. Oh, that quarter ain't going nowhere. Oh. That's y'all one tip. Y'all gonna remember that for the rest of the weekend.
That's Taylar, a 10-time world record holder in powerlifting, former national weightlifting champion, and head coach of the Orlando Aces. I recently got to experience your athlete camp and wanted to share some of it with you.
How to be more analytical, how to be smarter, how to train better, how to train harder. Just a little nuances that we really don't talk about in classes. But it's about literally developing yourself not only as an athlete, but as a person to allow yourself to be more intentional in your habits and everything that you do.
So if you're like me and want to learn how to move a barbell fast like her, get your notebooks out.
This is very dear to my heart. Literally made my whole business, my career off of barbell cycling, but it's really an art to it. A lot of people, they see people in the games grid or whatever you're looking at, they're just going fast. They're like, oh, I need to go fast too. No, there's a reason, especially with being an athlete, you have to know and understand what the workout entails. If you do it right, you're gonna be able to conserve energy. Just because you're the first one off the barbell, if you're like, and you're breathing hard and now you're having to rest for 30, 45 seconds to get your heart rate down, what was that for? All right, so if you're going to use it as an advantage, you should be able to control your breathing to the next thing so you can keep moving. Minimize fatigue. If you're used to just going fast and reverse curling it, that's gonna blow up your forearms, that's gonna blow up your shoulders. If you have a workout that consists of handstand push-ups, something that requires more shoulder work, you already blew it out under that load. So you want to make sure that you're using your entire body or working as efficiently as you can so you are minimizing the fatigue in your entire body. Decrease time under tension. There's a lot of people, especially in CrossFit, they're doing a lot, and the more you hold on to that bar, you're actually working a lot harder. So if we learn how to minimize that time under tension, then it's going to leave us fresher for the long run when we go to whatever else the workout entails. So it's not about just that particular movement, it's about the entire workout as a whole. So that's why barbell cycling is an art. It's not just moving fast, it's why are we moving fast? What are the conditions? We're gonna break it down between speed, pacing, and power. So when we're talking about speed, grid is the perfect example. That's all about speed. You're getting in, you're getting out, you're probably in there for like 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds, you're trying to go fast. Or if you're doing CrossFit, you're the last minute, 30 seconds, we want to move for speed there. If it's a 20-minute workout, we don't want to move for speed. No, it's going to be a long 20 minutes. Please don't, please. But that's with you. Don't leave that between you, God, and that barbell. Next thing, pacing. That's going to be your CrossFit. That's going to be the majority of the workouts there. We want to focus on breathing here, keeping that heart rate regulated, keeping yourself moving so that the next piece, we just want to be continuously moving there, all right? And then we have power. So we have those workouts that has a little bit heavier barbell, heavier loads there. If you can cycle it, good for you or whatever, but still, even if you can cycle it fast, that doesn't mean you should do it. So when the weight gets heavier, now we want to focus on power. How can we be as explosive as we can? How can we generate as much power as we can? So then when we get into a workout and everything else, we won't be as fatigued. Let's talk about the stance. So when we're talking about barbell cycling, the first thing I like to talk about is the stance. So when we're talking about lifting heavy for 1-2 reps or in training, we want to start in our power position here because you're trying to generate power. When we're in a competition, we're going to vary. It's going to be dependent on what the workout is, what you feel comfortable with or whatever. What I tend to find that works best, of course, it's gonna feel weird and awkward as hell, but what's gonna make sense, the more and more you try it, it's gonna be a game changer for you. What happens when we're in our receiving position? So stability. So what happens when we're in a CrossFit workout? We're breathing all hard, we're all wobbly, we're all over the place, and we're looking like a walking duck or whatever. So we wanna make sure if this is our most stable position, then when we're doing the barbell movements, we're actually going to already be a lot more stable as opposed to getting here. Now we're doing jumping jacks, we're elevating that heart rate a lot more, we're working a lot harder, and we're bypassing our stability or our position where we can actually be more in control here. So practicing working a little bit wider stance. It doesn't necessarily have to be our full receiving position. Just play around with it, but focus on keeping your feet full foot contact in that floor for as long as possible. So now we're pulling ourselves under, we're in our receiving position, we're in a more stable position, especially for my people who like to hinge. If we're here, that's still a lot of work. But if the weight is light enough, we're not gonna work nearly as hard. We're going to be able to continue to move. And that's where the sauce is. That's where we can, even if the barbell move may not be your strongest, we can still stay in the game until you get to a part of the workout where it's your strongest part. So again, CrossFit is all about making it through, keep moving. Your fastest way when talking about speed, if you can, if you've been practicing, is gonna be muscle cleaning. So there's pros and cons to everything. Muscle clean just means that you're dipping, standing, squeezing those quads, and there's no rebend. So you're keeping that bar tight, so dip stand, and you're just taking out that rebend. So when we're talking about speed, this is going to be your fastest way. There's a con to that because now this is going to actually incorporate more biceps. But if you're in a workout and you're doing multiple things, you want to save your biceps as long as possible. So that's why we want to incorporate the power position, because now it takes out your biceps and now you'll be able to breathe a lot more. And then when we go into, if it's something heavier, then we want to use more legs. We want to come back to whatever our original stance is. So power position with dip drive, because now the weight is heavier, we want to apply more power to it. So now we don't want to worry about being in a stable position. We need power, all right? So if it's heavier, come back, use those legs, stand up, reset, because now we want more power into that bar. And then quality over speed. Do not just work this in. Don't just put heavy weight on the bar like, oh, I need to go. We're gonna do what we're doing now. We're gonna work with the barbell, focus on the technique, focus on the speed, and then we'll start adding weight and load to it. So something that you feel comfortable in, know the intention. If you wanna be elite, and some of you guys, I know I've talked with you guys, you wanna make it to that next level, you wanna make it to the games. Making it to the games is hard. It is hard. I know, because I was a handstand walk away from making it. It's hard. I had to sacrifice so much to get even that close to tasting. It's hard. It's a switch in your head. It's a switch in your mind that you have to do every single day. It's lonely. It's tough. It's not easy. So you have to remember, if that's what you want to do, you have to get crazy with it. Everybody in the NBA or in the professional levels, they are the best of the best. But you know how good you have to be to suck and not play? So don't beat yourselves up if you're not perfect. It's not about perfection. Don't compare yourself to the person that's next to you. Only compare yourself to the person that's in the mirror and see where you were at yesterday, 2 months ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm a completely different person than I was in 2014. Shoot, 2008. Shoot, last month. Move with intention. Move with passion, and make sure that whatever you're doing it for yourself, not for the accolades, not for the sponsorships and everything, for yourself, because you love it. Because once this becomes a job, get the out. That's why I've done a ton of things. When I stopped getting butterflies, I got out because I stopped challenging myself. If it scares me, I'm right where I need to be, because there's something great on the other side. But if you're not getting butterflies, if you're not nervous, you need to find something else that's going to make you nervous, that's going to make you uncomfortable. If it scares you just a little bit, you're right where you need to be. You just have to be patient. It's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen next month. It's not going to happen in a year. It's going to take a lot of time and consistency. So don't think just because you're a talented athlete in college or whatever, or you're the best one in your gym, that you think that you should be a lot further than where you're at. No, you're right where you need to be. So focus on the right now, in the present, and what you can control right here in front of your face, and everything else will write itself out. Continue to set goals. Make those short-term attainable goals. Keep it consistent. Keep it moving, and then you're gonna start chipping away. You're gonna start chunking away at that big pie that we call our long-term goal. So focus on the little things, focus on the tiny things. If you get mad and upset, that's fine. That means that you're upset and that you care. But don't stay there. Get out of it. Like, be upset, go on there. I say all my F-bombs and everything. Like, I promise you, Jess probably said all the F-bombs for everybody. And every week I let she come quit, but she's not gonna quit. She always quits, but then come back, it's like, okay, I'm ready. I let her have her tantrums till she comes back because she wants it. She cares. She does everything because she cares. She wants this. So if you guys are looking to take it to whether, it doesn't matter if you're beginner to intermediate to RX to elite, it doesn't matter. It's that same switch every single time. But you have to be intentional. Don't get comfortable. Search for the uncomfortableness, guys.